But what we do is we've had this wonderful restaurant for 13 years, and Sue and I we sat down before our closure, which is our annual closure for Christmas, and we said, is it still a viable thing? Is it still appropriate? And we decided that at the end of the day, it needed some refreshing and a little bit of rejuvenating, and that's exactly what we're doing now. Suma's has been this wonderful success story within sort of the restaurant world of Jersey, and when we opened, it caused quite a revolution. We had a lot of imitators, a lot of people who sort of tried to follow in our footsteps. So it's been a great success story. But 13 years on, it needed a little bit of a sort of revamping and so on, and that's exactly what we're doing now. And it's reintroduced a real excitement into the staff, into Sue and I ourselves, and it's just great. It's not a radical change that we're introducing; it's a subtle change. But we're looking at everything. We're looking at the style of service, and I think these days, eating, certainly the casual eating, has changed radically in the last 13 years, and people are looking for something a lot less formal and a lot more user-friendly, and that's exactly what we want to introduce. We're looking to sort of just lower the tempo of the service and calm down the sort of the sophistication of the dishes, and just make it really, really yummy and user-friendly, and really bring it back to the place. Because when Sue and I first opened Suma's, we said to ourselves all those years ago, Suma's had to be the place that we really wanted to come and eat at, and we want it to be that again now, and I think we're going to make it, and so we've got an exciting time ahead of us. I think we've gone about it through communication and through just really explaining why we're doing it and the reasons, and also telling the story. I think storytelling is something that's so important in life, and Suma's is a fantastic story. It's a great success story, but things have to change and things have to evolve, because the world is an ever-changing place, and we've got difficult financial times and so on. And if one understands the story, you understand the concept and the reasons why there is need for change, and one shouldn't be afraid of change, because and actually we're not talking of radical change, we're talking of subtle change. I think it's still going to be it's a tricky time, and I think at the end of 2009 there was a lot of optimism, and I think it wasn't just our industry, it was, I think, just generally there was a lot of optimism build up to Christmas and so on, and we celebrated Christmas and New Year. But we came into January 2010, we've had 2-3 weeks of the most dreadful weather we've ever known, and all of a sudden everything has just gone flat, and one's optimism has somewhat deflated, I think, and I think we have to be prepared for the worst. I think to be optimistic is, it's great, and I am optimistic, but I think we need to be prepared for another year or so of difficult times, and it's the reality of the world we're in at the moment, and to duck the issue, put your head in the sand and ignore it is foolish. And that's really exactly why we're doing what we're doing with Suma's. We're not ducking our head and putting our head in the sand. We're recognising that we have to react to what's happening, and it's not a knee-jerk reaction, but it's a reaction, because to just stand still and do nothing when there is a problem is a disaster. So I'm quietly confident, but who knows? It's a funny old world out there. It really is.
I think, especially in this day and age, when there's such a problem with sustainability and air miles, I think at that moment in time it's very much a responsibility of the customer and the producer to make sure that we are looking after the stocks that we've got, and we're making sure that we're using economically and environmentally friendly produce. There's no point in getting sea bass from the Caspian Sea that's been overfished when we've got sea bass just right outside the door. Same thing with scallops. Why have freight from North Scotland when you've got hand-dive scallops pretty much diving outside the window? As far as everything else goes, I think it's just the freshness and the quality of the produce that they've got here, I wouldn't want to buy it from anywhere else. I think at the moment in time it's got to be both scallops and sea bass. When it comes through the door and it's such a fresh produce and such a clean produce, you don't need to do very much to it. You can just allow it to express itself on the plate. If you overcomplicate it, you take away the quality of what that is. And if you've got it coming in, there's nothing you should do but simply cook it and serve it to the customer. People want to experience the food. If you overthrow it with spices and too much else on the plate, you take away from the quality of the produce. Say, for example, a piece of scallops. All you need with that is just a little beurre blanc and a light salad, and the scallops just scream out the quality of them. If you start putting too much on the plate, you take away from that taste, you take away from that visual of these amazing produce. The same thing with sea bass. It's coming in at the moment, the size of it, the quality of it, the freshness. You don't want to be throwing too much flavour, too much complexity of it, because at the end of the day, when people come in to eat sea bass and come in to eat scallops, that's what they want. They don't want too much of something else.